Chonoki Chokoya, coming in to this armory of grief and despair, this pain, which is used as weapons, to blockade oneself, deep within this masculine range, within the field, this space of no return, as we enter into this tunnel, it looks as if when we enter into this chamber, what we did not see before is that there is a tunnel, on the other side. As we come in here, it feels like an endless space of longing, unmet needs, despair, trying to run in the opposite direction on this treadmill, never arriving, never feeling heard, never fully feeling connected. This is all within the brain, within the mental ranges here, these subconscious states of being. Chotokoya kata I chanokoya, Jahokoya kata I chanokoya. These subconscious states of being. So much sadness and loneliness. Bringing source light here to the inside of the right lung, along the spine, as we connect with this masculine field, this embodiment range here, through the front of the sternum, into the base of the rib cage here, where it feels like this experience, the energy that is experienced by this individual at maybe a collective range within the masculine energies, there's a sense of not wanting to let go or not being able to let go. It feels like I will fall and I will never stop falling. Falling into the unknown. And yet this grip here, which feels to be into the right rib, it's almost as if I'm picturing this masculine here, holding with both hands into my right rib, So from their perspective though, they would be reaching into the feminine range, trying to hold on, for dear life. And it does almost seem as if I'm standing at the edge of a cliff, and they are dangling above it, We start to ask here, can we move back from this edge? But also we want to see, what does hanging over the edge represent? Start to get massive nausea in the solar plexus here. It's almost as if the concept of not hanging on for dear life, well, it's not even a concept. This just feels to be natural and normal. Such a fog that this creates that it's only dealing with what is directly in front of oneself at all times. So let's start to step back here off of the edge of the cliff. So I just wanted to make sure if there was a purpose to be here or not, but it seems like it's such an ingrained or embedded state of being. There is massive confusion here around the mind, this inability to see any different way of existing. And it does seem, if we were to ask this person, it creates this massive pain at the base of the brain, this inability to even conceive of something different. So we're going to step back here purposefully and intentionally, gently here, to allow their feet, their soles, to stand on solid ground here. So we pull back, we draw back our own field, but because it seems like they are clinging here, as we do so, it creates a bit of a panic because suddenly their legs are bending beneath them. This position feels very different. I don't know how to not hang, so even the body structure has to adjust, within this here, asking them to put their feet down and to stand up here and to release their grip. There's a lot of disorientation that is coming out as they gain coherence. Bringing in source light behind their field because it feels like there is a tendency to be pulled back over the edge here. It's almost a magnetic pull. So let's look at, okay, that's interesting. There is some type of energy in this like canyon space, this brown tone, and there is something in the spine, which is a match, which is why this masculine range keeps getting pulled back over the edge. It is in their masculine range here. Good. Through the core, this similar brown. And it does have a bit of like a cyclone effect to it. So this spinning, this negative spin ratio through the field. And where it feels like they would be drawn to connect with individuals that also have some sort of compromised feminine to masculine energetic imbalance. There's something here in both fields where the masculine ranges are compromised. So as we allow this to pivot back out, to stop this collapse in the fields, bringing source light here into the feminine range. And this involves a level of needing to open the eyes to see clearly. But again, this is really in the mind, in this mental range, in this traumatized range of the unconscious mind. So we bring light here and light into the vision field, and we can start to feel this dropping out through the feminine range, these counterpart tones where those hands were gripping into the ribs. There's a component of that same tone in the left ribs here. This actually feels like incredible anxiety, a sensation of unsettledness in the body, bodily sensations, which ramp up the fear and panic, causing shutdown through the brain system. We stand here as both turn to face the solar passage through the solar rays. That we will pause here for as long as is necessary. There's a sensation here of, okay, we see it, we're done. Okay, this is it. Okay, let's move forward. Coming from this masculine embodiment, and yet this feminine embodiment really standing here in their knowing, as they feel into the masculine range, knowing more time is required. This emptiness through the feminine range that needs to be filled up. Almost where this energy field, this human with this energy field structure does not conceive of itself as its own vital being. It is defined through external variance, external validation, interacting with external ranges, populating its sense of self from external interactions. And there is deep grief around this through its feminine range. Actually, doing so has caused this infiltration into its feminine range. So its own intuitive guidance, its own intuition is corrupted. Coming here to the base of the left side of the brain and bringing in the golden peak activations. Here to tone through this sense of, I'm hearing it as insubordination. But really, because the field is subordinate to something other than its own self, its behavior then displays as reactivity or reaction against authority or almost defiance, rather than allowing introspection. Because also where it does come in to try and see internally, there is massive trauma here. Almost as if at some point the energy fields were not allowed to look at their own selves because they would have been able to heal. There was like a mirror to deflect this introspection into the field. Oh, feeling this through the left side of the neck here because of this triggering here. Again, let's ask that they feel the left sole of the foot here on land. Supportive foundation here. Let's bring light here. And let's start to shift the fields out of this imagery here now, this whole construct. Bringing into the source light ranges, this city of light, this retrieval. And again, supporting and holding them here as they uptake this advancement, this progression through the soul star, through the solar plexus. It's not going to feel right. It's going to feel awkward and uncomfortable for a time. This atmosphere of toxicity that has been being inhaled, shifting out of this system. Bring these beautiful mother ranges here into the back of the neck, the base of the spine, ahead of its time. We set this within their range of potentialities to uptake here. Through the solar plexus, through the root, feeling here into the feet, settled and present. Releasing this energy through the knees. Also this energy of this desire to run and flee, this desire to cut off and end the pain, but this causes a rupture as the proper alignments are coming in. Clarifying the identity and the purpose through the human vessel, through the soul star, through this mid-range here at the base of the ribs, amplifying and reformulating. Good. And now bringing source light through the core here to help soften and infuse into the body, into the consciousness, settling into the soul through the back of the root here. As it is so.